Apple has released its new iPhone 6 Plus. It's a much larger phone at 5.5 inches, and some people are starting to run into some issues as a result of its size. So one person
I've had
who...
that problem too.
Doesn't it suck when that happens?
A lot of women are having a problem with my size. You know what I'm talking about.
I heard that there's some pills that can help make it bigger.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Change it from the regular to the plus.
No, it's too big.
Let's see if you did that.
Too big.
All right. Now, there are a number of Apple forums where people are airing their grievances, and one individual wrote the following. Yesterday, I left at 10 a.m. with the iPhone in my left front pocket of my suit pants. I drove 4 hours to a wedding, which also involved a lot of sitting during dinner, etc., but also 2 to 3 hours of dancing. I left at 2 a.m. and went to bed, driving home 4 hours back. As I laid on the coffee table, referring to his iPhone, and sat down on the couch to relax from the drive, yes, sitting again, I saw the reflection of the window in the iPhones slightly distorted. Basically what happened was, since the phone was in his pocket for a very long period of time, it actually bended to mold the shape of his thigh. Okay, so people are concerned about this, especially considering the fact that it's obviously a pricey piece of technology. And so right now the question that people are asking is whether or not Apple is going to do something about this. Are they going to spend a considerable amount of money to fix this problem? And as of now, Apple has not released a statement, but we'll see.
I can't, I mean, look, there's going to be a lot of pressure on them, but I can't imagine that they will. I've read reports that, like, this is a few days ago, that they had already sold 10 million of them. I mean, the amount, look, they might very well, when they release the 6S in 3 or 4 months or 5 months, then they might change something, but I think it would just cost so much to fix it now. And also, look, to be fair, so I watched a breakdown of exactly why this might be happening. My favorite tech YouTube channel is MKBHD, and he showed it. He bent it in his hands.
Whoa.
I mean, understand, people have had these phones for a couple of days and they're already bending. It's not the only phone that has bent. He showed examples of other ones, including past iPhone models that bend too. Really? But he talked about how the way that they constructed the phone, that it has one thin sheet of aluminum along the back without the magnesium chassis inside that most similar phones that are made of aluminum have. That, and the fact that it's not broken up by smaller pieces of metal that would bend in a fundamentally different way, it's not unexpected, or it shouldn't have been unexpected that it could bend.
Wow.
But the amount of force necessary to bend it is much lower than it is in the case of other phones.
Wow.
So people should be so pissed because they waited in lines to get this flawed piece of technology.
But that's my favorite part of the story. There are people who waited in line, camped out, and literally pooped in bags because they didn't want to lose their place in line. They wanted to get the iPhone that badly, right? And now their phones are bending.
That's the part that you like.
But they pooped in bags.
You've never pooped in for the straight face, you've never pooped in a bag?
Never pooped in a bag.
Well, you've not gone on a cruise in the Caribbean with me. We are bag poopers. But guess what? Now, so we have that iPhone 6, which also has a clock on it, and we have the iWatch, which also has a clock on it. So say whatever you want, we are definitely living in the golden age of knowing what time it is.
Anyway,
do you think though that they should offer? What are they going to do? I mean, they can't send them another one. That one will just bend.
It really depends. I mean, if it's distorting the screen of the iPhone, yeah. You got to fix the problem.
Yeah.
You got to give these people refunds. You gotta somehow redesign the phone so you don't run into this problem. This is not an inexpensive piece of technology. People spent a lot of time and a lot of money to get their hands on this, and if it's not a good product, you're screwed.
So what will probably happen if Apple does not address this and fix it, if they try to ignore it, there will be a class action lawsuit and they will lose.
Yeah.
You can't sell people a thing that through normal use, which is the way people normally use their phone, is they keep it in their pocket. It didn't come with a thing, don't put this in your pocket like everyone in the world does. So there'll be a class action suit and they will lose. Yeah.
And early the headlines were like that it's the hipsters wearing their tight jeans that cause. This guy was wearing suit pants. But I will say my final point that I want to make is we all have things that we want technology to get better at. Like we want thin TVs and stuff like that. We all want thin phones. Like I have a fairly thin phone. This phone is not going to bend. At some point, you got to stop fetishizing thinness because it's already causing problems with the iPhone beyond the bending. So it bends because it's too damn thin. They couldn't fit a proper size battery in it because they wanted to make it thin. And the part of the camera pops out because they didn't want to just make it flush with the body because then the body would be slightly thicker. It's ridiculous. Phones don't need to be as thin as a piece of paper to be cool and admirable.
But if it was, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
Aren't you guys getting a little tired with like the size fetish that keeps changing? Like at first it's like the smaller the phone the better, and then all of a sudden the bigger the phone the better. Like some of these smartphones are they're basically tablets.
No, I saw
Then
Ben,
why buy a tablet?
Gigantic.
yeah, Ben Mankiewicz got one he uses as a Murphy bed. I don't know if you've seen. I played foosball on his phone the other day. It was fantastic.